Siphamandla, you can hear us now, I hope. Let's talk about what's happening in the Northwest. The Premier, Job Mokgoro, has he resigned? What's the latest?
As of this moment, the Premier, Job Mokgoro, has not resigned. We are told that he is still busy consulting with some leaders of the ANC. So yesterday there was that press briefing by the interim provincial committee of the ANC in the Northwest, whereby it was announced that the Premier candidate which is being put forward by the ANC will be the party's veteran, and that is Bushy Maape. But the Premier, the current Premier, has not resigned, and in a way that has some sort of caused chaos, confusion and instability in the Northwest, which has been plagued by political instability for a very long time. Now, in terms of procedure and government processes, the Premier will have to resign through the office of the Speaker of the Provincial Legislature. Remember, the Premier is elected on the basis of the Provincial Legislature. Now, his party, which has deployed him, can only ask him to resign, but it's entirely up to him to write that letter of resignation, send it to the office of the Speaker at the Provincial Legislature. Then there will be that post or that vacancy which will need to be filled, and then procedurally the ANC will have to ask one of its deployees here to the Provincial Legislature of the Northwest to resign, so that the new person who's being proposed to take over as the Premier will then become the member of the Provincial Legislature, and then after that he may be elected to serve as the Premier. We are outside the Northwest Provincial Legislature, and up until an hour ago my colleague Aviwe Mtila has had confirmation from the Provincial Legislature that the Premier has not resigned yet. They have not received his letter of resignation. Let's listen to the spokesperson of the Northwest Provincial Legislature.
Well, because he has not resigned yet, it means he will chair the ex-committees. He remains a Premier until he has resigned. There's no way that he cannot chair the meetings if he has not resigned, as far as I understand how these things works. But we have not received any communication from the office of the Premier today.
Well, Siphamandla, the issue will probably be that, they would have to maybe have a motion of no confidence in him, but even that is an issue because the ANC is so divided in the Northwest and in the caucus that you can't even guarantee that councillors will vote in support of a motion of no confidence if it's put forward, or even vote in support of this new candidate. Do we even know where the Premier himself is?
We are told that he's in and around the Northwest Province. We assume, based on what we've been told, that he is somewhere in Mahikeng. In fact, our contacts and our sources have told us that as we speak, the Premier is busy. He is seized with government business. He's working. He has not resigned, besides the fact that he is consulting ANC leaders, but he is busy continuing with his duties and responsibilities as the Premier of the province. So he is in the province, but he has said that he's not doing any media interviews. We've been trying to get hold of him to speak to him. We are told that, well, he is seized with government business, so therefore he's not doing any media interviews. Our contacts and sources telling us that he has not resigned, and he will communicate his decision if and when he has taken one of whether to resign or not. So as we speak, it's not given that he will resign, not that he has a choice anyway. At the end of the day, we know how these things work, how they end. He will have to vacate that position because his party, the ANC, has spoken. The very same organization that deployed him has spoken. He may be prolonging it, but at the end of the day, he will have to abide and resign. The question is, when is he going to do that?
Yeah, he's a deployee of the ANC. He must ask the former president, Jacob Zuma. If the former president resigned, understanding well what the top leadership decision was to have him to have him step down, then who is the Premier of the Northwest? What are the political implications here, Siphamandla? Because the Northwest has been facing serious service delivery issues. There are some, like Clover is one of the businesses that are picking up because municipalities are simply not effective in delivering services. So what are the broader implications of this possible resignation or lack thereof?
They are severe. I mean, the political implications for the governing ANC in this province is that it will continue to lose that trust and support from the electorate. Yes, within the ANC itself, it will continue to be plagued by divisions and infighting. And one of the reasons, by the way, we are told that the Premier has been asked to resign is the fact that service delivery in this province has collapsed. He's being accused of not doing much to ensure that there is service delivery. At the center of that is the collapse of the local government institutions here and the municipalities that are said to have collapsed, and nothing has been done about that. If you've got municipalities collapsing, that simply means businesses and residents will not be able to get service delivery. So at the center of this request by the ANC's interim provincial committee decision or recommendation, which has been endorsed by the officials of the ANC, we are told, and the top leadership of the ANC, is that the Premier has to go because he has failed to lead this province in terms of reviving service delivery issues, in dealing with the collapse of municipalities in this province. So political implications are that communities in and around the Northwest will continue to lose hope when it comes to the governing party, but also within the governing party itself, it will continue to be plagued by divisions. You know, this is one of the provinces that has been on the news for infighting within the ANC. 2018, former Premier Siphamandla Goge was recalled or was asked to step aside because he was accused of not doing enough in terms of ensuring that this province progresses when it comes to service delivery. Job himself was brought in to stabilize the province, and we are told that one of the reasons he has not resigned is that he says he has not finished the job.
Yeah, and this infighting is costing South Africans at the end of the day. That's really what's said about it all. Siphamandla, thank you so much for giving us the latest all the way from the Northwest. Job Mokgoro, the ANC announcing yesterday that they are removing him, essentially, because he hasn't resigned. But it doesn't look like he is intending to do so. But I mean, as Siphamandla says, it's inevitable at some point he would have to resign or face possibly a motion of no confidence in the legislature.